We used to sit in her room for hours. Like I'd literally spend my whole day in her room. And a part of me just felt like she was going to be my forever kind of thing. We're going to be together forever. I would come, I would spend the whole day, didn't care about my time. I just wanted to stay around her. It was fun, it was lovely. The atmosphere was always so soft. Until one day I walked in and I heard her talking. I heard my name leave her lips, but it wasn't in a way that I expected. It was her feeding me in pieces to others. I was mocked, I was insulted, I was ridiculed and made fun of. Have you ever felt like that before? So today we're going to be talking about betrayal and backstabbing in female friendships. Now, I have come to understand that betrayal and backstabbing is way more common in a lot of friendships, especially from within the range of 18 to 30. We are currently in a phase where we are growing, we are evolving, and then it now starts to feel like the closest ones around you begin to feel like your silent enemy. Now, why exactly does this happen? Number one thing is insecurity wearing a smile. Now, most times in friendship, especially when you're very intentional about who you want to become, you start to make those steps, carry out those decisions to become better. Before you know what is happening, a lot of your friends start to feel left out. A lot of your friends start to feel like you're suddenly ahead, your light is shining so bright. They're insecure about it and they don't know how to come up to you and let you know that, oh, I like what you're doing, I like what you're on to. How do you put me on? They don't want to do any of that, and so they're just insecure. They feel hurt. They don't even know that they're hurting. And another problem is some people only know how to clap when they are in the spotlight, but they do not know how to clap for another person when they're in the spotlight. They don't know how to celebrate with you when you've gotten that new job, you've got a new apartment, or you're even in a happy and better relationship now. They don't know how to do any of that. Now, the second reason why we find a lot of things happening is the unspoken competition. I don't know why in a lot of female friendships there's always that silent competition that is going on. You find that a lot of times someone is competing with another person, trying to make sure that they are outing this person on everything. Sometimes it's competition over men. It's competition over attention. It's competition with who is more successful, who has it more figured out, who got a new car, who did this, who did that. Now, the scary and the sad thing is that most times a lot of women don't even know that they're doing this. They don't even know that they're competing with you. They don't even know. And it starts to feel like female friendships can't even be safe. They can't even be trusted. You can't even tell your friends your wins because you don't want any issues. Now, the third reason is the information dealer friend. That's what I would like to call this one. Now, there are those friends who ask you a lot of questions. They know you in depth. They know everything about you. They just know how to say the right words and how to get the right and honest response from you. Now, the issue is these friends, they are information dealers, meaning they deal on information. They're selling information because they don't know how to just zip it. And so they go on sharing things about you to other people, things that you know for a fact that you're not even comfortable sharing, but just because you're in a vulnerable state, you shared this with them and they've shared it out. I mean, I trusted you to keep this for me. So why are you out there sharing it? Why are you out there blabbing it to Sandra and Francisca and Cynthia and Annabella? Why? What are a few signs that I think you should look out for? Number one thing that you should look out for is, how do you feel after every conversation? Do you feel safe? Do you feel at peace? If you finish having a conversation with your girls and then at the end of that conversation, you find yourself feeling drained, you find yourself feeling so low, I don't think you have the right people around you. Now, the second thing that you're supposed to look out for is, how do they celebrate you? Do they celebrate you publicly and then belittle you in private? Do they praise you when you're outside, when you have an audience, and then when you're inside, they belittle you? Now, it's one thing for them to correct you with love on the inside, and then let's assume you flawed or you faulted or something. They don't necessarily out you outside, but as soon as everyone is inside, you're like, oh, what you did today, it wasn't so good. Please don't try to do this outside again. I'm not really chill with it, and that's okay. But when they belittle you, when they make you feel less of yourself, run. Another thing that you should look out for is when you start hearing your words, things you said from someone else's mouth. Now, it's one thing for you to, if you're watching this and you're someone who gossips with people about, I think you should stop it. I really think you should drop it. There's someone who talks about people, especially in very, very demeaning ways. I honestly think you should stop it. But when you shared sensitive things, say for example, you're going through a very, very rough part in your relationship, like your relationship is almost crumbling, and you shared it with a sister because you thought she's a sister, and then you're hearing it from someone else, and the way they're even saying it, they're saying it in a, how do I put it, you know that moment when you hear someone talking about you and they're talking about you like you're supposed to be a lesson learned, like do not repeat this mistake again, cast and bind the spirit of repeating such kind of mistakes for something that was very deep and vulnerable to you. That's when you know you should be out of that circle. Now, another thing that you should look out for is how do they respond to your wins? How exactly do they respond when you tell them about your wins, when they're happy for you? And now, it's one thing for some girls to be happy for you. They're like, go girl. It's one thing for you to see that, but I tell you, you see this face that we have? This face will always betray you. There is no way you want to max your, you can't max your expression. Look, there's something I always do, and I think I should just share it with you. When I'm sharing something sensitive with you, I am very, 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 I am so interested in looking at your face. I'm looking you in the eye. I'm looking at everything going on in your face. And then I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? So remember the test that I told you about? Yeah, that test, how was it? Oh yeah, I actually aced it. I'm looking at you. The moment I just see anything, no matter how little it is, I've gotten you. When I hear people say, oh, my friend pretended, I didn't even know, I'm just like, you were not so quick, because you see this face, it will always, like your emotions will just, and go out. So your ability to catch it, that moment. I know there are people that are professional actors, people who know how to pretend and act and all of that, but your face will always catch you, whether you like it or not. So pay attention to even the most tiniest details. How do they celebrate you? And another tip I need to give you is watch out for backhanded compliments. Yeah, watch out for backhanded compliments. You know those things that sound like compliments, but they're not necessarily compliments. Look out for those. Now, what do? You've observed that there's certain things that are shady. What exactly do you do? Point number one, do not assume. Don't conclude. Confront them on it. Now, what do I mean by confront them? It's one thing for you to assume. An assumption is the mother of all mistakes, and it's also the lowest level of knowledge, because like I just gave you back on in the video, the person might be shocked about the information that you've released to them and they don't know how to respond to it. That's why I said probe further. When you probe further, you would start to see those backhanded compliments. Whatever it is that you're probing about, observe their body language. Your body language will give you away. Observe how they respond. Observe the whole tone, even as little as the pitch that they're using while they're addressing your confrontation is enough to give you a response. Always read the room. Now, another point that I'm going to give you is for you to set boundaries. Even with your day one G's, your day one girls, always set boundaries. I honestly believe that no one is above boundaries. No one. Yes, you might compromise a little bit here and there, do a little bit of tweaking from time to time, but no one should be above your boundaries. Now, the third point that I'm going to give you is know that it's not your fault. You know, most times when betrayal happens, when you fall out with friends and all of that, you start to feel like, oh, I wasn't giving them too much attention, I wasn't doing this, and that's why this happened. No, it is not your fault. Do not let anyone's broken loyalty shatter your confidence. Don't do that to yourself. Loyalty is not about history, it's about consistency. You deserve friends who can speak your name with honor in rooms that you're not in, and not just necessarily like your posts on Facebook or Twitter. No. And if you have been betrayed, I see you. I have been too. But baby girl, please do not dim your light just because it exposed the snake. Tag a real one and share this with someone who gets it.